You guys, I am so excited to talk about this fragrance. I've covered it on a YouTube short earlier, but it's time for the full in-depth review because this stuff is so well blended and I can't believe that this stuff is under $100. So if you want to discover one of the best cherry scents on the market for under $100, stick around and let's jump right in. What's going on, everyone? It's Eli with Common Sense. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today, we're talking about a wonderful brand new fragrance from the house of French Avenue. And I have talked about this house many times, and I feel like every fragrance that they come out with has just blown my mind, and I love the quality and consistency of all the bangers that this house has released. But this fragrance is from their Elysian line, and I think they have Elysian Onyx, they have a green, and I got the brown one, you guys. When I first saw the box come in the mail, I was laughing. I was like, there is no way that these like two fragrances that I ordered need a box this big. And after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. This is huge. This honestly reminds me of an Arabian Oud presentation, but the packaging feels super high quality. It is very heavy, hefty, and I feel like this is a wooden box. But as this lifts up, you get this really beautiful bottle right here. It's sitting in this really interesting creamy velvety texture. And let's just talk about this bottle for a second. This looks absolutely stunning. I love the tall, elongated look, and you definitely have some of the gold accents on here that just look perfect matched with this kind of brownish orange gradient. My only gripe with this presentation is this collar right here and the actual little deer head up here. It is a very cheap plastic look. So everything else looks very high quality, the presentation, but I feel like if they just went with like a metallic color or something that doesn't look like a very cheap children's toy, I would say this could easily pass as like a $200 fragrance. You guys, the smell on this stuff, next level. So right off the top, you get a very strong blast of a fruity cherry and plum. And it definitely is a bit of a tart cherry, but the plum makes it very juicy, and it's like a mouth-watering fruity vibe. And it is so scrumptious in the opening. And there's also a note called Ceylon cinnamon, and that's basically a very premium cinnamon. It's almost like cinnamon 2. It's just a deeper, richer, spicier cinnamon, and it definitely has a nice premium quality to that. That is just intoxicating. And then speaking of intoxicating, this stuff is supposed to be a twist on Initio's Narcotic Delight. Now, I personally have not smelled that fragrance before, but I've heard great things about that fragrance, saying it's a beautiful cherry, boozy fragrance with some really nice rose and just a beautiful intoxicating quality. And that is what I get with this fragrance in particular. Now, as this stuff starts to dry down, I do have it on a tester strip here. I've been wearing it throughout the past week and also just kind of smelling it now and then throughout the week to just refamiliarize myself with this stuff. And I gotta say, as this starts to dry down, it gets better and better. The rose comes out. You have a little bit of violet and some heliotrope in there in the listed notes, but really it just has a slightly floral vibe in there that definitely complements those beautiful cherry plum notes in the opening. And in the base, you definitely do have some incense, some oud, you have some patchouli and leather, and I definitely see the leather coming out in this. It's like a very silky leather, and it's not going to be like a super leather forward fragrance, almost like, you know, the Ahmed Al Maghribis, where those are like a very nice creamy subtle like suede with some of the really strong tropical fruity notes. This is more of a juicy cherry, and also again that nice kind of earthy patchouli that's not going to be too intense or too hippie-like. It's more of an earthy, smooth, beautiful base to this. It's not listed, but I feel like I also get a little bit of like an ambrox or like an ambroxan accord in here because it smells a little bit musky in the dry down, just a hint of it, and it gives it just this addicting quality to this. So I feel like it could be something like that, or just that really beautiful kind of sultry, smooth rose note in there that really does give it that niche feeling. Like I want to just like bathe in this stuff. It is that good, you guys. Now, as I smell this on my skin and kind of wore it throughout the week, I definitely was getting, you know, flashes of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry or something like Cherry Smoke. Again, I haven't smelled that Narcotic Delight, but to me, it smells like a much richer, slightly darker, boozier version of that Lost Cherry or Cherry Smoke, where again, it's that really nice, sweet cherry plum in the opening, and it turns into something a little bit more dark and intense. But I want to say this is a 10 out of 10 fragrance, and depending on where you pick it up, you can pick it up up for a great price. I want to say I picked this one up for about 60 bucks or so, but even for about 80 bucks, I still think it is worth it. I think this is definitely approaching niche territory from these Middle Eastern fragrance houses. I think this is definitely money well spent. So if you're obsessed with cherry fragrances, I think this is definitely going to be a beautiful fragrance addition for your collection. And that one is French Avenue's Elysian. God, I have this like cherry haze just like right up here, and it smells so freaking good, you guys. Oh yeah, longevity and performance. I was just blown away by the scent. I didn't even talk about that. This is gonna be a 10 to 12 hour fragrance. It projects really strong for the first 4 to 5 hours or so, and then it does leave a very enormous scent trail behind you. You're gonna be, it's like a cape. It's like a red cherry velvet cape that's trailing behind you, and people are going to notice you. I received probably 2 compliments from different people the first time that I wore this, so that is a great indication that this stuff is going to be received well by the people around you. But more importantly, you're gonna smell fantastic, and if you're like me, this is gonna be that fragrance that's going to elevate your personality and your confidence and just give you a little bit of that boost to carry yourself even more than you normally would. Because fragrance does have that power to just kind of subtly change your mind, and you know, if it really resonates with you, sometimes it can give you that confidence boost. So I'm not gonna say this is gonna change your life, but scent is a very powerful tool, and you know, this is a very powerful fragrance. And that one is French Avenue's Elysian. So let me know down below if you've tried this fragrance or if you have any other Narcotic Delight twists that I would love to check out, because this stuff is perfection. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week, and remember, you can do it this week. I'm Eli with Common Sense, and until the next time, bye-bye.